Peace, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to talk about the last short film that I did, Evil in Their Eyes, and pretty much what I feel I did wrong. Not the details of what I did wrong, but I think I did one thing wrong that kind of killed the audience retention rate, to be honest. Aside from things like, like the types of shot that I got, some of the audio problems that I was having, I'm going to go into deeper detail in another video for that. Today, we're really just going to focus on what I think could have made this short film a whole lot better. I didn't think of it at the time. It's one of those things that, hindsight's 2020. First, this one got to go get groomed. Alright, so personally, I think that what technically killed the retention rate is staying in the same location. I mean, that was probably the biggest mistake that I made. Staying in that one room, the beginning first 4 or 5 minutes of the film is literally all in the same room. And although I tried to change angles and tried to change the dynamic by having different dude. All right, hold on. Let me get this one groomed. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold that thought. We'll be back to get him. We'll be back to get him in a little bit, and I'm gonna show you guys how he looks and all that. But to get back to the topic at hand, I think that by staying in the same location really killed it, because by 3 minutes and certain seconds, a lot of people were dropping off the film. Even though the story was going, it was flowing. Actually, I thought it was all right. There were so many other things that I could have done instead of just staying in that same location. Now, like I was saying before Gups interrupted us, I was trying to switch it up by changing the scenery around in terms of the characters that was within these frames. But that wasn't enough, because visually it just got a little boring. Visually, it got stagnant, and it easily could have been remedied had I, just been thinking outside the box. I was actually fell victim to just, limiting myself. I felt, because we originally had a different location in mind. We were supposed to use somebody's basement, but that fell through, unfortunately. And that basement was actually pretty gritty and grimy, and it has, it was enough space that I would have been able to move the camera around a lot more dynamically, I guess, because I was on sticks this entire time. I had one camera on the tripod, one camera handheld, and I was trying to capture 2 different angles, not only to make it easier for me in the editing room, but also to try to get that, switching of angles every couple of seconds to try to keep the viewer's attention, but that wasn't enough. So, what could I have done to make this better? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Hold on, I'm about to go home. So I came home, went straight to work, because obviously I was still in my 9 to 5 and needed to get that kind of work done. But while I was working, the news broke that DMX died and passed away. So rest in peace to DMX. That kind of put a little sour note on the day, and I didn't really feel like doing anything vlog related, so I just did a time lapse to show you guys that I was actually working. And then in the middle of this, I got a call that Gupster was ready to be picked up. They called me quickly from the groomer, so I ended up having to go get this little one a little sooner than expected. So, oh wait, that means that I could do some cinematic shots of him in his fluffy coat. Why not, right? It's YouTube. My job, my 9 to 5, and now I can talk to you guys freely. So something that I could have done better is changing up the scenery when it came to that first scene. Once the interaction between the boss and Jermaine, it would have been better if I would have had that interaction somewhere else. So one thing that I thought of that could have changed up the scenery would have been, boss pulls up in the car and Jermaine leaves the room and talks to boss in the car and have a little car sequence. That would have kind of broken up the monotony of just being in the same room. Something else I thought of would have been have boss call Jermaine on the phone. And I could have actually used this little set right here where, being that we were in the spare room, nobody really knows that this room is connected to that room. I could have set this up, to make it look like boss was just chilling in his little crib. And he's calling Jermaine to telling him, yo, we got to get rid of homeboy. We got to, do what we got to do. And now after the fact, I thought, well, how would have Jermaine gotten the gun that he used in the movie? Well, it could have been easy. You know, boss could have just said, yo, you know, go check your mailbox. I left something in there for you. You know, something simple like that. That would have actually covered the fact that, you know, he still needed to use the gun that boss was approving him to use for that little mission. Basically, the whole movie practically takes place in that room, and you know, I kind of fucked up when it came to that, and that's because I was just, you know, you get overwhelmed when it comes to shooting, and you kind of block out the creative thoughts, because then at that point you're only thinking about what you already thought of. All right, this is how I wrote the script. This is what I didn't leave myself much room for experimentation because it's a time limit. You know, I didn't really want to have that many people in the house for too long at the same time, so I was just trying to play everything safe, and it ended up biting me in the ass. You know, just that one thing, if I would have changed, probably would have that could have made the difference between that short film blowing up potentially, or you know, dying off as quick as it did. I know that the retention just could have been better, so that immediately I said, oh, it's because we're just, you know, we're in the same location. You know, we didn't change anything up. Two angles didn't matter. Different angles did not matter. And another thing probably would have helped would have been more movement, because the fact that everything in that room, it was so tight that, you know, we really had limited movement. Had I created a new set here or did something outside with the cars, that really would have changed everything, because that would have actually made me it would have allowed me to move around more with the camera and get way better cinematic shots. Now, again, that was just a learning curve. That's just something that, you know, idea that I had based on a song that one of my homies made, and I like the way it came out. I think it still is a good short film. For me, it may not be something I'm going to submit to festivals or anything like that, but I got the practice in. I was able to accomplish something from start to finish. I was able to direct, you know, people. You know, that was a really good and fun experience. So I think that is the biggest mistake that I made, is not switching locations soon enough. I just allowed it to drag on. No matter what you do in that little room, it was just too long, and a lot of people just, you know, weren't trying to watch it. So thank you again to everybody who watched it. Again, this is just one thing I wanted to get off my chest because it's been bothering me and I figured it's a lesson that I could teach other people. Make sure that you do change your scenery quicker. You know, maybe I think after the 2-minute mark, 3-minute mark, that's when I should have switched scenes and did something different. Clearly, as the data shows, the 3-minute mark was the sweet spot. So keep that in mind if you're doing a short film. If you are doing a short film of this length, this was an 8-minute short film. You know, try to do things every 2-3 minutes. Try to switch things up. Same thing with YouTube videos. If you stay in the same spot for too long, I'm sure it gets boring. Unless keep it engaging to keep it going. Just like music videos, every 3 frames or every 3 seconds, change frame. So next time, remember, consume less and create more.